Friends, before we start, let me show you up the final output. See, I have different boxes with different radial gradient fill inside. So, let's get started. Here I have already opened up Adobe Dreamweaver CS6 and here I am with some of my very basic CSS. Let me show you that. I have made a rule for all the divs which we are going to create. So width for them I want is 30%. Height for them I want is 200 pixels. I want them to float left to each other and they should have margin of 10 pixels. Now let's insert our first div. Say div with the ID of 1. Now let's have CSS rules for this our div 1. Say hash 1. Now as we are going to learn radial gradient, so I have already written a syntax for you. Radial gradient in braces, the position we want to specify our gradient or the shape or size we want of our gradient be, and the color stops separated with comma. Now, first let's have very basic example of radial gradient. Say background. Now, let me just copy this syntax which I have specified in comment. Let me empty this braces. See, a very simple syntax we have. Initially, we are taking very basic example of radial gradient. So, background, radial gradient, and inside braces, let me have colors. So, colors I want is deep sky blue and deep pink. I'm using standard HTML color names. You can also use hash codes. As it's a CSS3 property, so we must use necessary prefix before it to let support it in all the browsers. Let me just copy and paste it up. Say for Chrome and Safari, let me have WebKit. And let me have also for Mozilla. You should specify necessary prefix for all the browsers and a regular syntax also so that it renders correctly in all the browsers. Let's save up this much and let's preview. See, now we have box 1 now with a radial gradient filled up inside. Now let's have another div. Set div ID 2. I'm just copying WebKit only as I'm using Chrome for preview, but you should use all the necessary prefix for all the browsers, a regular syntax also. Now we can also mention more than 2 colors, as many as we want. Say third color let me have is yellow. And let's insert our second div. Set div ID 2. Let's save up. Let's preview. See, now I have yellow color also in my box. All the colors take relatively even amount of space. Now I also want to show you it depends on the size of the browser's window that our gradient is going to act as an elliptical or a perfect circle. Say I shrink my browser, I have circle And when I maximize the size, I have elliptical shape. Although we can also force our browser to make it a perfect circle, that in a moment I'm going to show you, no matter whatever the size of screen is. Let's have another div for that. Let me just copy it and paste it. And let me make it 3. And let's have our third div. Copy, paste, and again making it 3. Now, just before the colors, I will mention circle and separate with comma. Let's save up. Let's reload. See, now my third div is perfect circle, no matter whatever is the size of screen. And notice the second radial turns into elliptical, as we have not specified circle for it. So the default is elliptical if our browsers allows it. Now let's talk about position. Let me just copy this third property and let's paste it up. Let me make it 4. And let me insert fourth div. Say fourth. Now let's have position as top. Separate it with comma. Let's save up. Let's reload. See, now we have our gradient on the top. We can also specify bottom, left or right. Let's have bottom. Let's reload. See, now I have my gradient in the bottom. Let's make it say right. Let's save up. Let's reload. See, now my gradient starts from right now. Now we can also mention bottom right, bottom left, top right, top left. Let's save up. Let's reload. See, now it starts from bottom right. Now let's make it say top right. Let's save up. Let's reload. See, now it starts from top right towards bottom left. Or let me have top left also. Let's save up. Let's reload. See, it's a top left now. So this is, you can play with the position. But a time may come then when you don't want it to be in corners. Say you want your gradient starts from middle or any other pixels or any other position you specify. So in that case, we will specify it with percentage or pixels. Say, let's have another div. Say Control C. Say, let me copy and paste it up, and let's make it 5. Let's have our fifth div. Now let me just remove it. Now let's give position. Say 20% and 50%. From X 20% and Y is 50%. Now this is position. Now let's have size also. So size I want is to be separated with comma to be 100 pixels and 100 pixels. Separated with comma again. Just look at our syntax. Position, comma, shape or size. Color stops. Soon we are going to discuss. So position, shape or size all are separated with comma. So this is our position. This is our shape. Now let's save up this much and let's reload. So it's 20 and 50 from X and Y. And the size I have specified is 100 pixels, or say let me have size to be 200 pixels, 200 pixels. Let's save up, let's reload. See now I have 200 pixels. See I have specified 200 pixels and 200 pixels. So let's force it to have circle. If I will specify it like say 150 pixels as the height, say width as 200 pixels. Let's save up, let's reload. Now it's little elliptical, or let me have little more difference. Say let's make it 100 and let's make it 250. Let's save up, let's reload. See it's a elliptical shape, or let's have it 250 here and 100 here. Let's save up, let's reload. See I have this. Now here I have specified is 20% and 50%. So let me just change it to 50% and 50%. So that will make it in a center from X and Y both. Say let's refresh. See now it is in a center now. Or say let's make it 0% here. Let's save up and let's reload. See now it's half circle, as the second position I have specified is 0. So this is how you can play with position and size. You can also specify circle in your size, or you can have circle by specifying both the values same, say 100 pixel 100 pixel or 250 pixels 250 pixels. Or see in example 3rd or 4th we have specified circle to force the browser, make it circle. Now let's discuss color stop. Now I can also specify that which color I want to stop at which position. Now let me just copy the second one this time. Now let's make it 6. Now just to mention color stop, after the color I will specify the pixels or percentage I want to stop the color at. Say I want to stop my deep sky blue color at 40% and deep pink at 80%. And say yellow at 70%. Let me insert this 6th div. Now let's save up. Let's reload. Or let's change our percentage. Say I want is 40% and 70% for deep pink. Let's leave any description for yellow. Let's save up. Let's reload. See I have deep sky blue as 40% and deep pink as 70% and rest is for yellow. What if I will have this 70% on yellow? Let's save up. Let's reload. See, this deep blue color and yellow color is dominating on deep pink. We can also specify in pixels. Say 40 pixels and 80 pixels. Let's save up. Let's reload. As pixels are smaller in size, so it has shrinked now. Let me again make it %. Now let's talk about repeating gradient. Say copy this sixth one and paste it up. Let's make it 7. And let's insert our 7th div now. Say for repeating gradient, I have to specify repeating before radial. As I have started my color from deep sky blue, so in the end I should also have deep sky blue. Otherwise, when the loop will go in repeating order, it will give us a very dark line. So let's have ending with also deep sky blue. Let's save up. Let's preview. A sixth is also changed as I have pressed undo from my keyboard to make it again in %. Now in the 7th one I have repeated gradient color. According to the percentage given, number of circles going to held. Say if I increase the percentage, say I make it 50% for deep sky blue, 60 for deep pink and 70 for yellow. Let's save up. Let's reload. See, the number of circle are reduced as the amount of percentage is increased. So this is how you can play all around with it. Now we can also again force it to have it in circle. Let me just copy and paste it up and have the 8th one. Say 8. And let me have circle before colors. Separated with comma. Let's save up. Let's reload. See, now we have perfect circle. Now one more thing I am going to show you, that now in the div, let me have CSS rules. Say border radius 100%. Let's save up and let's preview. See, I have circle now as I have given radius of 100%. So the box has been converted to circle. So this is how you can play all around with it. So this is done, friends, and it was all about radial gradient, friends. And if you want to learn these subjects directly from me, do contact me. Do not forget to subscribe me. Have a good day.